Did you sleep with my brother? Answer that for me.
Answer that for me.
Did you or not? Did you sleep with my brother?
Man, take me off child support, baby.
Mr. Adams?
I've been through so much. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know what I went.
Olivia Brown spent 21 years believing she knew exactly who she was and where she came from. She had a father, a family, and a name that connected her to both without any question she felt she needed answers.
Brown, you claim that after 21 years, you were stunned when in a heated argument, you...
Then her sister Andrea said 4 words on what was supposed to be a celebratory birthday, and the entire foundation cracked straight down the middle. This is not a case about strangers sorting out paperwork in a courtroom. This is a family tearing itself open in front of Judge Lake and a watching world.
Sister blurted out that the man you believed was your dad might not be your biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
It happened on Olivia's 21st birthday, the kind of milestone that is supposed to feel like stepping fully into your own life. Her father called to send money, and for a brief moment, everything felt completely ordinary and warm. Then Andrea spoke, and the words landed like something thrown from a height: that man is not your father.
Mr. Brown was my father, but what really triggered me off was on my 21st birthday when I made 21, my daddy called Andrea, said...
Every comment Olivia had quietly filed away over the years, every sideways glance, every observation about how she did not quite resemble him came flooding back all at once. This was not gossip traveling through a family grapevine, this was the ground disappearing beneath her feet.
Look, tell Olivia happy birthday, I'm sending her some money. She comes to me, my daddy sending you some money? That's not your daddy.
Judge Lake asks how Olivia began searching for answers after that birthday conversation changed everything. She went directly to her mother, Angel MC Entire, and asked her to tell the truth for once. Angel confirms that yes, Mr. Brown was in the picture during the conception window.
I would always say, oh well, that's not your daddy, you don't look nothing like him. You red and he dog.
And yes, there was at least one other man involved as well. Mr. Brown does not flinch when this comes out. He was present from the very beginning, held Olivia as a newborn, and spent years shutting down anyone who dared suggest she was not his. The pain behind his words is not something he is performing for the court. Then
that what really hurt me. So I went to my mom and I'm like, okay, Mom, what's going on? I need to know the truth. Is my daddy my biological father?
Angel speaks again and manages to make an already devastating situation significantly worse. It was not just 2 men during that period, it was more than 2. The courtroom does not gasp so much as go completely still in a way that says the air has been taken out of the room entirely.
But I was seeing both of them after that.
I didn't know that.
You did.
So the bottom line is, Ms. McIntyre, there was a time when you were seeing both men.
Angel explains the overlap a 7-year relationship running alongside Mr. Brown's arrival in her life. The 2 timelines tangled in ways she convinced herself did not matter. She had decided Olivia must be Mr. Brown's child because she had finally become pregnant once they were together, and she held on to that belief even as doubt quietly accumulated around it.
At the same time,
after I got pregnant with Olivia, I left my other sponsor alone.
Mr. Brown's story is the kind that earns genuine respect and breaks something in your chest at the same time. He has known Angel since they were both children and chose her repeatedly through circumstances that would have pushed most people toward the door a long time ago.
Got together.
So, in your mind, you said to yourself, I've been with this man 7 years, I have never gotten pregnant. Then I ended up seeing Mr. Brown.
When rumors about Olivia's paternity began circulating, he positioned himself between her and every one of them without hesitation. Behind closed doors, he asked Angel for a DNA test, and her response stopped him. Completely, she told him if the result came back negative, he would never see Olivia again. That was not a warning delivered in anger, that was a weapon used with precision, and it worked exactly as intended.
Starting a relationship with him, next thing you know, I'm pregnant, this baby has to be Mr. Brown's. This is what you initially thought.
Yes, Your Honor.
Then comes the closet. Mr. Brown arrived at Angel's home unannounced one evening, and something about atmosphere told him immediately that this visit was going to cost him something. He moved through the house anyway, opened a closet door, and found a man standing inside it, undressed, caught, and with nowhere to go.
Okay.
She and I knew each other. Me and her brother were best friends. We grew up together. When she told me she was pregnant,
the man standing in that closet was the same person long rumored in the family to be Olivia's biological father. Judge Lake's reaction in that moment requires no narration. And after all of that, Mr. Brown still took Angel back, which tells you more about the depth of what he felt for this family than any testimony could.
She said Olivia was mine. I believe that in my heart.
But after she was born, you also say you remember those rumors.
The accusations do not stop there. Mr. Brown raises another allegation, this time involving his own brother, and Angel denies it immediately and forcefully. 21 years of buried resentment begins erupting in real time inside that courtroom, and Judge Lake has to restore order before the whole room loses its shape entirely.
Did you sleep with my brother? Answer that for me. Answer that for me. Did you or not? Did you sleep with my brother?
Olivia sits in the middle of all of it, a young woman who came looking for a straight answer, and is now watching the adults who built her childhood tear her history apart in front of cameras. Being the collateral damage of other people's unresolved decisions is a particular kind of brutal that does not have a clean name.
That's what your brother says you want. Go there. Why you always trying to push your brother on me?
Let's get some order. Let's get some order.
Olivia explains to Judge Lake that every time she tried to get clarity from her mother, she received just enough information to quiet her down, but never enough to actually settle anything. Then she brings up her name, Olivia, and the detail it carries lands differently than expected.
Who was in the closet?
The guy that she said supposed to be Olivia's father, I went over, me and some of my friends went out drinking.
Her mother told her she was named after Mr. Brown's step-grandma, but the mother of the other man rumored to be her biological father is also named Olivia. She has potentially been carrying a clue embedded in her own name her entire life without knowing it. The exhaustion on her face belongs to someone who has been circling the truth for years and kept being redirected away from it just before landing.
I said, look, don't take me by my mom because she be tripping about me coming in late. I was old enough, but I was staying with my mother.
Okay.
So I said, drop me off by Angel.
Olivia reaches a breaking point, not a loud one, but a complete. She is done absorbing the jokes, done enduring the stares, done being told by her own blood that the man she calls dad does not actually belong to her. Judge Lake calls Andrea to the stand, and Andrea arrives with the particular confidence of someone who has never once questioned.
What happened when you asked your mother?
Every time I
She don't
come
look
to
like
ask
none
my
of my
mama
family.
anything, she brush it off.
Whether she might be wrong. She tells Olivia directly and without softening it that Mr. Brown is not her father. It is built entirely on appearance and family conversation rather than science, but the damage it causes does not require proof to be real.
Don't come questioning me. Another reason why I doubt it is because of my name.
Andrea continues building her case before the court, and none of it is gentle. She says the entire family can see Olivia does not fit the physical pattern, and that even their grandmother has made this observation. She claims Mr. Brown himself has expressed doubt at various points.
Please step up to the podium.
He's not your daddy. This is my daddy.
How do you know that?
He look like you.
Hold on. Let's get in order. Hold on 1 second. Wait.
Judge Lake cuts through it clearly. Physical resemblance is not a DNA result, and personal feelings are not biological fact. Like and subscribe because the envelope is coming, and nobody in that family is going to walk out of this courtroom the same way they walked in.
Wait. Jerome, stand between the two podiums, please, so we can respect each other.
Andrea then shifts the argument onto entirely different ground, and the direction she takes it reveals what this fight is actually about underneath the paternity question. She accuses Olivia of only reaching for Mr. Brown when she needs something and using Andrea as a go-between rather than building her own relationship with the family.
You can look at a person. If you look at me and my father, we look exactly alike. And then
She frames herself as the devoted and consistent daughter and positions Olivia as someone showing up only when it is convenient. The room divides, and Olivia's face the hurt, the offense, the barely contained fury sitting just behind her eyes is its own complete story. This stopped being about DNA a long time ago.
you look at my brother and my sister on my father's side, we all look just alike. She don't look like any of us. She swears that she look like one of my aunts on my dad's side.
Andrea keeps pressing, and the portrait she paints of Olivia's absence grows more detailed with each exchange. No regular visits, no phone calls without a purpose, no initiative taken to connect with Mr. Brown's other children or grandchildren as her own family. Judge Lake acknowledges the frustration behind the accusation, but names what is actually happening beneath the surface of all of it.
Please share that with me.
My father and I were in an argument, and he said himself,
This conflict is not purely about biological origin, it is about who gets to claim love, loyalty, and a permanent place inside a family. That is a significantly heavier fight than a DNA test can resolve, and everyone sitting in that courtroom understands it.
he was like, well, your mom, she's a hoe, or whatever like that.
Let's speak respectfully.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Judge Lake turns the focus toward Olivia and the distance Andrea has been describing. Olivia defends herself. She worked. She is not someone who reaches for the phone without reason, and she should not need to justify the texture of her relationships to anyone.
I get that, and when you say you don't got decided, oh, well, all right, Daddy, I'm gonna talk to you later. And she just hang up in your face, no bye, no I love you, no nothing.
Then Mr. Brown says quietly that she looks like him. It is a small statement dropped into the middle of a very loud moment, but it carries something real and heavy inside it. Nobody backs down. Every exchange adds a new fracture to something already under enormous strain, and the question of what can actually be salvaged begins to feel genuinely uncertain.
I reach out, I come to your house to visit you. What do she do? Oh, I don't want to go out there, that's a long trip.
The atmosphere in the courtroom shifts when Judge Lake turns to Angel and asks whether she carries regret about what has happened between her two daughters as a result of her choice. Angel, who has held herself together through the majority of this hearing, finally comes apart.
Is it true that you do not accept your father, Mr. Brown's other children, the other parts of his family?
She did not raise them to be enemies, and she does not want them to leave this room as strangers. Mr. Brown adds his voice to the same sentiment, whatever the result contains. He wants this family to come out of it intact. For a brief and genuine moment, the defense is lower, and the real cost of half-truths and delayed honesty becomes visible on every face in that room.
First of all, Your Honor, I don't know them people. They don't call me. Only person I know is my sister.
Mr. Brown speaks, and the room responds by going quiet in the specific way rooms do when something true is being said out loud. He tells Judge Lake, and he tells Olivia directly, that the envelope does not change his answer 21 years of showing up, of staying, of choosing her, and he is not walking away from that now, regardless of what the science says.
Do you feel like you regret that your daughter isn't as close with the man that you raised her to think her father was?
Olivia absorbs it. Andrea hears the same words and receives them differently. Angel looks like a woman sitting inside the full weight of every decision that brought them all to this particular moment in time. Judge Lake calls for the envelope, and the room prepares itself for what is coming.
What was that emotion about?
Their sister, and they shouldn't get along like that.
Jerome brings the envelope forward and delivers it with the steady composure that makes the moment feel heavier rather than lighter. Olivia is visibly shaking with the controlled stillness of someone trying not to come apart before the answer arrives. Mr. Brown stands still with the quiet certainty of a man who has already decided who he is.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows: as it relates to the paternity of Ms. Olivia.
Regardless of what the paper says, Andrea is braced. Angel looks like regret that has been given a human face and told to sit still. Judge Lake opens it with the deliberate care of someone who understands that what she is holding does not just answer a biological question. It either confirms or dismantles 21 years of a young woman's understanding of herself.
Brown. Mr. Brown is not your father.
A confession, a broken condom, and a friendship that should never have crossed that line have brought this family into Judge Lake's court. Mr. Robinson was fully present in his daughter Serenity's life until the day Ms. Shank admitted she had been intimate with one of his close friends.
Your Honor, up to 2 years of Serenity's life, I was there for her and Mrs. Shank.
Since that admission, he has been pulling back, and the little girl caught between their broken trust is the one paying the highest price. He is here hoping the DNA result confirms what he still wants to be true in spite of everything. But getting that answer requires both of them to sit in the full discomfort of what got them here.
About 5 months, she was 5 months pregnant. She told me that I may not be her father.
Mr. Robinson tells the court that Ms. Shank came to him and admitted she had slept with someone he knew personally, and the courtroom takes a moment to absorb what that level of betrayal actually means. She acknowledges the encounter happened and says protection was involved, but a single failure on that front turned one reckless night into a question that has been hanging over this child's entire young life.
She told you she was pregnant, you believed her. You said, okay, and I'm there.
Yes, ma'am.
Doctor's appointments, everything.
Yes.
Ms. Shank says she came forward out of genuine guilt rather than being cornered into it. Mr. Robinson hears the explanation, and his face communicates that guilt arriving months later does not undo the damage the secret caused while it was being kept.
Yes, ma'am, I was there.
And then about 5 months, what happened?
She told me that she had slept with a friend of mine.
Ms. Shank insists the encounter happened only once, but the court is not operating on sympathy, it is operating on biology, and once is entirely sufficient to create a child. She says she disclosed the truth 5 months into the pregnancy, but Mr. Robinson's version of events draws a very different timeline.
Was it just one time with the other guy?
Yes, Your Honor.
So
he went through her phone and found a message she had sent to her cousin in which she openly acknowledged there was an equal chance he was not the father. That message existed before any confession reached him, which raises the immediate question of whether she came forward willingly or simply got ahead of something she knew was about to surface anyway.
When you finally decided to tell Mr. Robinson the truth, fill me in on that.
Ms. Shank tells the court she arrived at the 50-50 conclusion only after seriously thinking through the timeline in her own mind. Judge Lake presses on exactly when that reflection happened and whether it happened before or after the message to her cousin. The answers Ms. Shank gives do not land with the clean certainty she appears to be reaching for.
It didn't add up. It didn't add up, Your Honor.
What do you mean it didn't add up?
What does land clearly is what Mr. Robinson did during this entire period he stayed beside her through the pregnancy without stepping back from his responsibilities even once. The courtroom feels the weight of a man honoring a commitment while privately absorbing a betrayal.
It did add up because you wouldn't have written that text if you didn't think that.
The condom broke when I slept with.
Mr. Robinson points out to the court that his name is on Serenity's birth certificate and that he stepped into the role of father without reservation from the very beginning. The moment his position changed was not the confession itself, it was learning that Ms. Shank had attempted to arrange DNA testing for the other man.
Through her whole pregnancy, I was there through her birth, the birth certificate, my name is on it.
And
without ever raising the same question about it. The room reacts at detail audibly and with visible disbelief. Ms. Shank admits she tried to locate the other man for testing purposes, but was unable to find him. The fact that the attempt was made at all is what the courtroom cannot move past quickly.
And now you have this beautiful little girl, and you step up and you're her father.
Yes, ma'am.
Then Ms. Shank introduces a detail that shifts the temperature in the room considerably. She tells the court that when Serenity was born, the baby did not look like Mr. Robinson to her. She believed the child's appearance pointed toward the other man.
So when my daughter was first born, she didn't look anything like him. She looked just like the other man.
The courtroom responds to that with an immediate and audible reaction. She also notes that her older child with Mr. Robinson is unmistakably his in appearance, which she uses as a point of comparison. But then she pivots and accuses Mr. Robinson of treating the two children differently, giving their son open and consistent affection while showing noticeably less warmth towards Serenity.
And so, as Mr. Robinson was bonding with the baby, really stepping up to the plate as father.
The most painful detail in this entire case involves a moment that a child should never have been part of. Ms. Shank describes Mr. Robinson and his mother arriving to collect their son while Serenity was left behind, crying as her brother was taken without her.
Even sometimes when my son talks to his father on the phone, and after he gets off, Serenity says, "I want to talk to Daddy," and my son says.
She also says that when Serenity tries to speak with Mr. Robinson by phone, her brother steps in and tells her directly that Mr. Robinson is not her father. A young child delivering that message to a younger child is a detail that visibly affects everyone in that courtroom, including Judge Lake. Children absorb and repeat what the adults around them cannot manage to keep quiet.
"That's not your daddy."
How would a child know to tell another child that's not your father?
Ms. Shank's mother, Ms. Donna, is called forward, and she arrives with the clear intention of standing behind her daughter, regardless of what the proceedings produce. The courtroom responds to that loyalty with appreciation, but Ms. Donna does something more valuable than simple defense.
I'm here today to support my daughter. I totally understand why Mr. Robinson.
She brings honesty with her. She acknowledges that she understands why Mr. Robinson has pulled away because she has lived through a version of this situation herself. Her deepest concern is that Serenity will grow up carrying the same kind of pain her own child once had to survive, and she says it plainly because she knows exactly what that costs a child.
Pulled away from my daughter Serenity, granddaughter Serenity.
Ms. Donna tells the court that when Serenity was first born, she also saw no clear resemblance to Mr. Robinson in the baby's face. But as the child has grown, she has begun to notice his features appearing more distinct. She argues that physical resemblance cannot be the standard by which a child's identity gets decided, and that observation alone is not enough to quiet the kind of doubt this situation has generated.
In the case of Shank versus Robinson, when it comes to 2-year-old Serenity Shank.
Even Mr. Robinson concedes there are moments when he looks at Serenity and sees something of himself reflected back. Judge Lake brings the entire conversation to its necessary conclusion. No amount of looking, comparing, or reflecting can replace what the DNA result is about to deliver, and that envelope is the only thing in this courtroom with a definitive answer.
Jamario Robinson is her father.
Ms. Johnson stands before Judge Lauren Lake, absolutely certain Mr. Lewis is the father of her 6-month-old daughter, Josiah. Mr. Lewis and his mother are not remotely convinced, and they have reasons that go well beyond a gut feeling.
Ms. Johnson, you claim you have no doubts whatsoever.
Rumors started circulating early, and Ms. Johnson's own ex-boyfriend stepped forward claiming he could be the father. This case arrives already complicated, and it is only going to get messier from here. Nobody in this courtroom is walking out the same way they walked in.
That Mr. Lewis is the father of your 6-month-old daughter, Josiah.
These two actually go back further than most people realize. They first crossed paths in middle school, lost contact for years, and then found each other again on Facebook. Dating began in March 2013, and by April, just 1 month later...
Well, it all started, me and Mr. Lewis was friends back in middle school, and then we stopped talking for...
Ms. Johnson was pregnant. That timeline moves at a speed that leaves very little room for certainty. What started as a social media reconnection turned into a paternity case faster than most relationships even get off the ground.
Wow. And then we met up again through Facebook. I had broke up with my ex.
When Ms. Johnson told Mr. Lewis the baby was his reaction was not anger or denial. He broke down in tears. He grew up without a father himself, and the thought of his own child going through that same experience hit him somewhere deep.
Yes.
And she tells you.
Yes.
And when she tells you, what do you think?
When she first told me, I was excited. I asked.
He went straight home, told his mother, and fell apart in her arms. It was a genuinely tender moment buried inside a story that was already getting complicated. The storm was already forming even as he cried.
I actually broke down crying, tell my mom, because I ain't know how I be, because I ain't have my dad, and I ain't want no kid growing up like I did.
Mama Lewis steps into the picture, and her account adds important context. She first heard about the pregnancy directly from Ms. Johnson herself, and when her son came home later that same day, completely devastated.
Well, I first found out through Ms. Johnson. That's how I first found out that she was pregnant.
She was caught between joy and genuine fear for him. To her credit, she told him plainly to step up and handle his responsibility. She was trying to be the steady voice in a situation already spinning out of control. That steadiness would be tested severely in the weeks that followed.
So you found out from Miss Johnson?
Yes.
How did you find out? Take me back to that.
She called me and told me that she was pregnant.
Then comes the detail that makes the whole room stop and stare. The people spreading rumors about other possible fathers were not strangers or enemies, they were Ms. Johnson's own relative.
From one of her family members.
What did they say?
She had told me that...
Judge Lauren cannot quite process why a woman's own family would be actively undermining her paternity claim in public. Ms. Johnson pushes back and says those family members have never wanted to see her succeed or be happy. Whatever the reason, the damage those rumors caused was real, and it spread fast.
My son could be the father, and she also said there could be others that could be the father.
Ms. Johnson's attempt to explain away her family's behavior does not fully land in that court. Relatives planting doubt about their own blood is not something that gets dismissed with a quick explanation. But the situation gets significantly worse when Ms. Johnson admits that during pregnancy,
the whole time I kept telling Mr. Lewis that it was his baby.
She told Mr. Lewis the baby was not his, not because she believed it, but because she was angry that he had entertained the rumor. Judge Lauren's reaction to that logic says everything. Telling the man you are trying to convince that he is not the father is not a strategy that holds up under scrutiny.
But he was still believing one of my family members.
Why would your family members say that about you?
The ex-boyfriend enters the story, and he did not come quietly. After seeing posts about the paternity situation circulating online, he reached out to Mama Lewis directly. He told her that Ms. Johnson had informed him he was the father of the child.
So you say you had no doubt that he was the father of your child?
He did not stop there. He posted photographs on social media holding baby Josiah with a caption identifying himself as her father. The audacity of that move landed in the courtroom like a grenade. Everyone felt the blast.
Right? Yes. So why is it you didn't tell him when the baby was coming?
Mr. Lewis then reveals the piece of evidence that changed everything for him. He was secretly included on a three-way phone call between Ms. Johnson and her ex-boyfriend. He says he listened as she acknowledged during that call that
in reference of my son, finding out that he's a father to now finding out that he may not be the father.
She was uncertain about who the father actually was. Judge Lauren's expression shifts instantly when she hears this. That phone call is not a rumor or secondhand gossip. It is something Mr. Lewis says he heard with his own ears, and it has been sitting heavily on him ever since.
Be somebody else's. So the ex saw my status and sent me a message.
Judge Lauren asks Ms. Johnson directly and without any softening whether she genuinely knew who the father was. Ms. Johnson holds her position Mr. Lewis is the father, and she has no doubt about it.
One day, I think it was in March, we had a three-way conversation.
But the combination of the timeline, the ex-boyfriend's claims, her family's behavior, and that three-way call creates a picture that is difficult to look at clearly. Like and subscribe, because the results in this case are going to hit harder than anyone in that room is prepared for. The evidence has been pulling in too many directions for too long.
I was on the phone, and I actually heard her. He asked her who the father between me and Derek, and I heard...
Mama Lewis takes a moment to describe what these months of uncertainty actually did to her son. She watched him cry at church, go to the altar seeking comfort, and spend months emotionally unraveling over something he had no way to resolve on his own.
Do you know? Do you know which man is the father?
This was not a man playing games or avoiding responsibility. This was a man in genuine pain. The doubt was not just a legal question, it was tearing through his daily life and his faith. That kind of damage does not disappear the moment a result is read.
Your child. Do you really know?
I mean, to me, she looks like Mr. Lewis.
Side-by-side photographs of baby Josiah and Mr. Lewis as an infant are brought before the court, and everyone in that room leans in. Mr. Lewis studies the images and says he sees a resemblance that feels undeniable to him.
Maybe I talked to her and I said, what is going on? Is Derek, the father?
Even his mother, who has been carrying significant doubt throughout this entire case, quietly admits that she sees it too. That reluctant admission from Mama Lewis is one of the most telling moments of the whole proceeding. She did not want to see it, but she could not honestly deny it.
And she was like, no. Had a real attitude, was real smart with me.
Judge Lauren has heard every piece of this tangled story, and now it is time for the only voice that actually matters, the science. The case has delivered rumors spread by family, and ex-posting photos on social media.
No, I've
never held her.
My concern right now is the baby.
A secret phone call, and a mother torn between protecting her son and acknowledging what her own eyes are telling her. Every thread of testimony has been laid out and examined. The envelope holds the answer that all of it has been building toward. Nothing said in this room today changes what is written on that page.
But my thing is, for me, I couldn't get attached. She did
You felt
invite.
like you just couldn't even.
The results are delivered and the courtroom absorbs, but what follows immediately after is something nobody fully anticipates. Ms. Johnson breaks down not over the result itself.
In the case of Johnson v. Lewis, pertaining to 6-month-old,
but over a separate grief she has been carrying quietly. Mr. Lewis has never once held his daughter. Through all the doubt and all the distance, that physical bond between father and child simply never happened. Judge Lauren hears it and makes a decision that shifts the entire energy of the room.
Josiah Johnson. Mr. Lewis, are Josiah's father.
Right there in the courtroom, Judge Lauren creates the space for the Lewis family to meet Josiah for the very first time. The formality of the proceeding dissolves completely in that moment. What had been a room full of accusations,
Because he haven't seen his daughter.
Can I give you one?
Yeah.
competing timelines, and raw emotions suddenly becomes something else entirely. A father and his daughter are in the same space, and the distance between them is finally closing. Months of doubt compressed into one moment of contact.
Yes, you may. Is that okay? If Mr. Lewis and Miss Lewis see.
Mr. Lewis holds Josiah for the first time, and the bond begins forming visibly and immediately. He speaks softly to her, and the months of crying, praying, and not knowing fall away in real time.
Hey. Hey.
Oh my goodness. I don't.
Everything this case carried, the family gossip, the ex-boyfriend's post, phone call, the tears at church, all of it led to this single quiet moment between a father and his child. The chaos that filled this courtroom found its way to something that actually resembled peace. That is not how every case ends, and when it does, it is worth every second of the ride.
I don't think she could get any more beautiful. Look, how's it feel, Daddy?
Really good.
A mother sprints into paternity court with one urgent message: her son could end up behind bars. Ms. Adams is here because if Mr. Adams is proven to be the father of Emma Williams' 3-year-old son, back child support kicks in immediately.
Ms. Adams, you say you're here today regarding a matter of extreme.
And if he cannot pay, jail time is not a hypothetical, it is the next stop. Mr. Adams himself is joining the proceedings via satellite from Michigan, restricted from leaving the state entirely. This case arrived carrying more legal weight than most people bring to any court.
Urgency. Now, your son, Mr. Adams, is joining us via satellite from Flint.
Judge Lauren lays out the situation with zero softening. Confirmed paternity means confirmed financial obligation, and confirmed debt means potential incarceration. Ms. Williams is not sympathetic about any of it. She says,
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Adams is joining us from WBSF.
his legal trouble is entirely a product of his own choices and his failure to step up when it mattered. On the satellite screen, Mr. Adams shakes his head at the claims being made against him. 2 people, 1 child, and a collision course nobody can stop now.
46, the CW in Flint, Michigan, and we'll hear from you in a moment, sir.
The backstory strips away any illusion of a complicated romance. These two were not in a relationship. They met at a party, spent one night together, and that was the extent of it. Ms. Williams openly admits she was also involved with other men.
No, I really wouldn't call it no relationship. You know, I met her at a house party.
During that same period, and that none of those encounters involved protection. Judge Lauren's expression in response to that admission needs no translation. The foundation of this paternity case was already unsteady before anyone even sat down.
You tried to have sex with me on the first date, so that was a judge of character right there.
Ms. Williams explains that when she discovered she was pregnant, her first assumption pointed to her former boyfriend boyfriend rather than Mr. Adams. She did not even consider Adams as a possibility initially.
I need to understand these details. You tell him you're pregnant. Yes.
A DNA test eventually ruled the ex out completely, and that is when her attention shifted to Adam. What started as a case with one suspect suddenly became a case with a new one, and Mr. Adams had no idea any of this was happening until it was already too late.
What happened?
Me and my ex was still trying to make things work, and we were still messing around.
A legal nightmare entered through a door Adams never knew was open. While he was incarcerated, a court proceeding moved forward without him present, and he was declared the father entirely by default. No DNA test was conducted.
No, Your Honor, only due to the fact that I was incarcerated, so
No biological evidence was examined. The legal system simply filled in the blank with his name. Suddenly, he was carrying a child support obligation he had never agreed to and could not afford to pay. A determination that should have required science was made without any.
I didn't receive any court subpoenas, anything, Your Honor. I was incarcerated.
Adam's mother is not sitting quietly on the sideline. She tells the court she personally heard Ms. Williams state more than once that the child was not her son's once inside her own living room.
Oh, you heard her say no?
Yes, she said no in my living room.
And again inside a department store. Ms. Williams disputes every word of it. The two women go back and forth with full conviction, and neither one is backing down an inch. Judge Lauren holds the room together through what is quickly becoming a very personal confrontation.
And she's over there talking about it's a lie, and she was in my very own living room.
The tension sharpens further when Adam's mother accuses Ms. Williams of consistently leaving the child in other people's care while she went out to work at a strip. Ms. Williams does not deny the work. She says she was dancing to provide financially for her son.
And she letting everybody babysit while she go to the strip club ain't doing her no good.
And she is not ashamed of it. The room gets loud fast, and Judge Lauren has to step in before the exchange crosses a line that cannot be walked back. Personal attacks are flying, and the child at the center of all this is 3 years old.
Because I babysitted the child, and she didn't come get me for 2 days.
Listen.
Here is where the story takes a turn that is difficult to believe without hearing it directly. Mr. Adams skipped multiple scheduled DNA tests during this entire period, and on at least one occasion, his stated reason was that he was too hungover to get out of bed.
Asked you to take a DNA test.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor. She did.
Judge Lauren does not let that pass without comment. She points out plainly that his decision to stay in bed rather than take a test almost cost him his freedom. Like and subscribe, because this case keeps finding new levels of unbelievable. Some consequences arrive quietly, and some arrive with handcuffs.
Why didn't you take it?
His excuse was he had a hangover, he couldn't get up, he was just basically being lazy.
Adams explains the moment he realized he had a serious legal problem. A routine police stop led officers to run his name, and what came back was an active warrant for unpaid child support.
How did you even find out that you were deemed to be the father by default?
He had gone out to buy cigarettes and ended up spending 10 days in jail. Judge Lauren observes that one simple paternity test taken at the right time would have prevented the entire chain of events that followed. The cost of avoidance turned out to be far higher than the cost of showing up.
And you had already been placed on child support. How'd you find this out?
At the beginning of this year, I started receiving paperwork.
Judge Lauren redirects the room toward the part that actually matters most. Underneath the accusations, the satellite screen, the missed tests, and the shouting is a 3-year-old boy named Little John, who has been caught in the middle of all of it.
I know this is emotional, but I think Ms. Williams has admitted that.
Ms. Williams breaks down when she says out loud what she has really been. After all along, she simply wants her son to know who his father is. The courtroom that had been buzzing with conflict goes quiet around that single honest statement.
She knows she made some pretty huge mistakes. And Ms. Adams.
Side-by-side baby photographs of Mr. Adams and Little John are placed before the court for comparison. Ms. Williams studies them and says the resemblance is clear to her.
No, I can't see it, Your Honor. To me, he favors his mother.
Adams disagrees and says he does not see himself in the boy at all. His mother backs him up completely. Everyone in that gallery is leaning forward, squinting at two photographs, trying to find a truth that only science can actually deliver. The visual comparison settles nothing, but it raises the stakes for what is coming next.
Do you see it at all, Ms. Williams?
Like I said, looks don't mean anything. Sometimes he do, sometimes he don't.
DNA envelope arrives, and the atmosphere in the room changes instantly. Judge Lauren opens it, and her reaction alone signals that something significant is about to land. The result is not what the energy in the room had been building toward.
It has been determined that Mr. Adams,
and the expressions that follow confirm it immediately. Every argument made, every denial offered, every accusation thrown across that courtroom has just met its answer, and there is no arguing with what that paper says.
is not the father.
Mr. Adams reacts to the result with a celebration that fills the satellite screen loud, unrestrained, and completely inappropriate for the setting. Judge Lauren shuts it down without hesitation. She tells him directly that his entire future was hanging in the balance.
Take me off child support, baby.
Mr. Adams.
And that this outcome is not a performance, it is a consequence of years of avoidance that could have ended very differently. The jubilation on his face and the devastation on Ms. Williams' face exist in the same frame, and the contrast is jarring.
You done come to the wrong courtroom clowning.
Ms. Williams absorbs the result visibly, and the weight of it showed. Adam's mother exhales the kind of breath that carries months of anxiety with it. Judge Lauren delivers the final truth this case has been building toward. This was never just about courtroom drama or competing accusation.
You're a young man and you can have a very bright future if you choose to.
It was about what happens when people avoid simple responsibilities until those responsibilities become crisis. From a default paternity ruling to 10 days in jail over cigarettes, this case is a masterclass in how quickly the cost of avoidance compounds.
Adams, I know this has been difficult and you've been worried about your child, so now you have at least...
A 1-month-old baby girl named Michaela has already pulled 3 people into a paternity court. Ms. Whitman admits she was unfaithful to her boyfriend, Mr. Mapson, and that Mr. Anderson was the man she turned to.
Ms. Whitman, the man you claim you love is...
Now, all 3 adults are standing before Judge Lauren Lake trying to untangle who is actually responsible for this child. A love triangle with a newborn at the center is not a situation anyone walks out of easily. This case is complicated before the first question is even asked.
Standing in our courtroom hallway.
Yes, Your Honor.
But you confess you...
Judge Lauren establishes the stakes immediately, and they are personal. Ms. Whitman wants to save her relationship with Mr. Mapson, and these results carry the power to either rescue it or end it permanently.
Mr. Anderson, you say you knew Ms. Whitman was in a relationship when you slept with her, yet claim...
Mr. Anderson is already distancing himself, suggesting Whitman was involved with additional men beyond just the 2 of them. What started as a friends with benefits arrangement has now expanded into something far messier than either man signed up for. The courtroom is already leaning forward.
She was also intimate with other men as well.
Anderson does not stop at general doubts, he gets specific. He tells the court that he personally knows Whitman was involved with other men in their small town during the relevant period.
Well, I have doubts because I know she was sleeping with other men besides me.
Then he drops the detail that makes the room go still. One of those men he claims was his own cousin. That single piece of information changes the entire atmosphere of the proceeding. Betrayal layered on top of betrayal tends to do that.
Specifically, how do you know that?
Because I've seen him up there, Your Honor.
Up where?
Anderson goes further and explains how he knows about his cousin's involvement. The 2 men apparently discussed it directly and acknowledged it to each other. Judge Lauren has to pause the entire proceeding to process what she just heard.
So one of your cousins stayed up there with her for a week?
Yeah.
Multiple men, a small town, and a family connection that nobody should have had to mention in a courtroom. This case keeps finding new ways to get more complicated. Jerome himself looks like he needs a moment.
Did your cousin tell you that he slept with her?
Yeah, we even gave each other daps and everything.
Whitman pushes back on the cousin claim with firm denial. She acknowledges she knows the man but insists nothing physical ever happened between them. She does admit that he purchased a bed for her at some point but frames it as a straightforward gift with no deeper meaning attached.
Well, how long did he stay?
His cousin never stayed at my house, period.
Was he at your house?
The courtroom's reaction to the bed explanation is immediate and unanimous. A piece of furniture does not typically enter a paternity case as a neutral detail.
He came there.
Did you sleep with him?
No, I did not. His cousin liked me.
Pressed for a definitive answer about who she was actually involved with, Whitman names only 2 men, Mapson and Anderson. Nobody else, she insists, despite everything that has been said. But her account keeps shifting slightly with each new piece of information introduced.
Well, actually, Facebook, my baby mama,
And Judge Lauren is tracking every inconsistency. A story that changes under pressure is not a story that holds up well in a room built specifically for finding the truth.
They didn't even call.
I sent you the picture of the pregnancy test.
The pregnancy notification itself adds another layer to this already dense situation. Whitman sent her positive test result to both men through Facebook at the same time.
Yes.
I sent it to Mick too through Facebook.
Mapson's initial response was excitement he wanted to be a father. But 2 weeks after that first message, Whitman told him there was a possibility the baby belonged to someone else entirely. The emotional drop from that reversal was steep, and Mapson has been living with it ever since.
Mr. Maps?
Yes, Mr. Maps, Your Honor.
Was he excited about the pregnancy?
Mapson takes his turn and admits openly that the doubt became too heavy to carry through the pregnancy. He wanted to be present but pulled back because he could not bring himself to invest fully in a child who might not be his biologically.
Hello, sir. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Mapson.
He missed prenatal appointment. He was absent for the birth. The guilt of those absences is visible on his face as he describes them. He made a choice to protect himself, and it cost him months he cannot get back.
So we're here, of course, discussing the paternity as it relates to beautiful Michaela.
Whitman describes going through the entire pregnancy and delivery without either man beside her. Anderson had blocked her on both Facebook and her phone because of the public drama surrounding the paternity situation.
I went through the whole birth alone, the whole 9 months.
Mapson had stepped away to manage his own uncertainty. She faced every appointment, every complication, and the birth itself completely alone. Whatever choices led to this courtroom, that part of the story belongs entirely to her.
He even stopped talking to me, and I couldn't get a hold of Mr. Anderson.
Judge Lauren asks Anderson whether he attempted to get a DNA test done before things reached this point. He says he wanted one, but could not get Whitman to split the cost with him.
Mr. Mapson also wanted me to pay half. I wasn't going to pay half for both people.
Judge Lauren's response lands like a verdict before the verdict. Like and subscribe because this case still has 2 results coming and neither one lands the way you expect. The observation about going half on a baby but not on the test that confirms it stops the room cold.
Wait a minute! She done gone half on the baby and won't go half on the DNA test.
Despite his doubt, Mapson describes what happened the moment he actually saw baby Michaela in person. Something shifted. He held her and introduced her to his family.
I went to see the baby and she was pretty.
And the people closest to him immediately said she resembled his own son. His face in that moment tells the story more clearly than any testimony. He wanted this little girl to be his, and the bond had already started forming whether he planned for it or not.
She was a beautiful baby, so I showed her around to my family.
Anderson then reveals what this situation has cost him beyond the courtroom proceeding. His own girlfriend ended their relationship because of the ongoing baby drama that kept surfacing publicly.
I've been through so much. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know what I went through.
He is visibly emotional describing the fallout. This was not just an inconvenient complication for him, it dismantled something he cared about. The paternity question was never just about Whitman and Mapson. It pulled Anderson's entire personal life into the wreckage, along with everything else.
The fuck out of here.
What are you feeling now?
I'm feeling pain.
Whitman makes her position clear with everything she has. She wants Mapson and only Mapson. That has never changed, regardless of how complicated the situation became. But she is terrified in a way that is hard to watch. If these results do not confirm what she is hoping for, the relationship she has been fighting to preserve will likely not survive the answer. This DNA test is not just determining a father, it is determining the future of her family.
Whitman. But the truth of the matter is you're worried that the situation is going to destroy your relationship with Mr. Mapson because you don't want to be with Mr. Anderson.
And Judge Lauren surfaces something that reframes the entire case. Earlier in the proceeding, Whitman denied that another man had stayed with her for a week during the relevant period. Under continued questioning, she admits that it was true.
Staying there with you for
But
a
we
week.
were not having sex. He stayed there. He was sleeping on the couch.
Judge Lauren tells her plainly that her credibility has been severely damaged by the contradiction. One denial that collapses under pressure casts a shadow over everything else she said in that room. The courtroom absorbs it quietly, but the impact is immediate.
He stayed there until he got all his utilities at his house.
Jerome carries the envelope in and the room loses all its noise. Judge Lauren opens it and reads the first result, clearing one man of biological responsibility. The second result follows, and it lands with the full weight of everything this case has carried.
It has been determined by this court.
Mr. Mapson is confirmed as Michaela's father. He does not hesitate for even a second before promising out loud that he will never walk away from his daughter. Whitman holds on to that moment like it is the thing she came here for all along.
Mr. Anderson, you are not her father.
The love triangle that brought 3 people into this courtroom finally has its answer. Anderson walks out of this with his name cleared, but his relationship already gone. Mapson walks out with a daughter he is ready to claim completely.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Mapson.
Whitman walks out with the result she needed and a second chance she knows she cannot afford to waste. Baby Michaela will never know what that room felt like on the day her father's identity was confirmed, but the people who were there will carry it for a long time.
You are her father.